Good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Hope you guys are well. Yeah, it's still batshit crazy in London at the moment, so doing our best to get through it, etc, etc. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? There's not a lot you can do about it. Just stay safe, keep your head down and get on with it. Crack on, as they say. Anyway, I'm absolutely bored of hearing about COVID talk. It's just, as I said in the last video, it's kind of all encompassing. It affects everything that we do, so we're not going to talk about it anymore. Just to say though, before we throw that away, if you do want to talk about anything and if you're going mad, hit us up on Instagram and we can have a chat. Anywho, enough of that. Let's talk about some really, really good stuff. Now, I have done a couple of reviews of some of Sean Maher's perfumes from Maher Olfactive, and he has very kindly sent me a couple of his new releases to have a look at. So if you're following us on Instagram, I have done a short brief written review of both of them on there, and here they are. So we have Tempo Rubato, and then we have Oris Forest. These are the two new ones to Sean's collection, and oh boy. Now obviously Sean has sent me these, so you know I have to declare that, but let me tell you straight, if I bought them I would still be gushing about them. So yes, it is going to be a very positive review. Now the plan was to try and do a video with both of them, so you know I can give you a bit more information about both of these fantastic fragrances. The problem is there's a little bit too much to talk about and it wouldn't work. So you're going to have to bear with me because I'm going to do one at a time. So the first one today we're going to look at is Tempo Rubato. Now, as I say, this is a new release. There's the presentation. These beautiful little 50ml bottles. Really good sprayers. Pretty plain cap. There's something, I mean, obviously I'm a massive fan of the Auto Paresi collection and I love those bottles. So I'm kind of really into this sort of minimalistic style presentation. I think it's perfect. It looks really good. They look really, really good in my collection as well. So I'm really, really happy about them. Now, Tempo Rubato is a term from jazz, which basically means robbed time. So it means the music's being played skillfully out of time, effectively. So it's an incredibly difficult sort of trick to pull off. And I think the most famous practitioner of it is Billie Holiday. And this, Billie Holiday and jazz seems to be the influence behind the perfume. Now, as you can see, it's not a genre of music that I'm that au fait with. I am very into music, as is Rich. I mean, me and Rich met 20 years ago, or maybe a bit longer. I started managing his band at the time. So music is incredibly important to both of us. And then when, you tie in sort of music and perfume together, it's a winning combination as far as I can, as far as I'm aware. I think it's just perfect. I think if you're into art, you're into photography, you're into music, all these kind of creative things all kind of blend together to give you this wonderful sort of artistic view in life, or this appreciation for pretty things, or interesting things, and this certainly is interesting. Now, I'm wearing it at the moment, so what we'll do is we'll have a little spray now, and then we will go through the notes and I'll give you my opinions on it, and we'll talk a little bit more about the perfume. So let's get into it. Okay, so if we go through the notes first, and there's an awful lot of them, you'll start to maybe see some kind of picture forming. So this is a very fruity, floral, but leathery perfume. It's an amazing adventure. So at the top you have apricot, you have plum, you have neroli, you have petitgrain, you have orange blossom, you have rose otto absolute, which I don't know too much about, you have narcissus absolute, you have jasmine, grandiflorum absolute, you have galbanum, you have orris butter, you have benzoin, you have leather, and you have musk. And that is a real cacophony that has to be very, very skillfully used to make it work. Could you imagine, if Sean didn't know what he was doing, and he really does, these notes would be everywhere and it'd be absolute chaos. So what you actually get when you spray it is intensity. I don't think I've tried any of Sean's perfumes that aren't really intense. They're not, there's nothing frivolous about these perfumes. They set a stall out. Sean seems to work very much to a vision. I think he has an idea of something that was going to work, and then he sort of stretches it out and works it and manipulates it to spend some time with materials to gain the effect in the perfume that he's looking for. And obviously this is a kind of an ode to that sort of jazz world, so it does take you there. It's not like Jazz Club or something like that, very obvious. This uses a really complex structure of materials and notes to achieve its end goal. So when you spray it, you have this kind of like neroli and orange blossom assault that lands, because it really is very punchy when it hits your skin. It kind of just goes everywhere. Really, really, so it's a really noticeable perfume. Straight away you get this boom and you're like, wow. But it's not, because there's a lot of florals in there, if you associate sort of neroli and orange blossom and things like that, instantly I'm sort of thinking of like Acqua di Parma or, lighter, summery fragrances. And this isn't. The fruits that are used here as well kind of hit together. There's such an intensity and a density to the perfume. It really does just take off. Now, the whole perfume star is orris butter. And if you like orris, you're going to love this. Now, orris is the root of the iris. It's a heavier note than iris gives you normally. And there's an intensity to it. There's nothing in here there's nothing here that suggests that there's smoke, but I get a real smoky vibe from it. And I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how it's been achieved, but it's not smoky like birch tar or something really, really heavy. It's just, I think it's just because it's almost like all the notes are rubbing together to make this sort of smouldering intensity. I don't know how he's achieved it, but it really, really works well. So because you have some fruits in here, you get a sweetness from the fruit, but it's not a syrupy fruit or anything like that. It's an intensity, again, I know I keep saying it, but that's kind of like the only word that comes to my head when I'm talking about it, that just gives a level of sweetness. So there's no bitterness, but it's not overly sweet. And then as things start to happen, the florals are still there, but everything I've tried with Sean's, what he does is he very cleverly allows every note to shine. So everything gets its moment to sort of da-da, and then this kind of sweet, bitter combination, these florals and these fruits just drift along into this sort of warm, sweet, leathery dry down. There's some musk here as well, but I don't really pick up on the musk too much. It's almost like this journey into leather, which is absolutely delightful. And it just, I don't know, this is such a special fragrance. I could literally wear this all the time. I'll be wasting it because this is a special occasion fragrance for me. I think this is going to be one of my go-tos when we are finally allowed out, so we can go out into the evenings and go and do nice things. I can't wait to wear this. At the moment, I've been using it for the school run and, as I said before, lounging around. I haven't worn it to work. I think it's too good for that. I've got plenty of other fragrances that I can wear to work, so I haven't worn that one for work. I've just been wearing this and enjoying this around the house. My wife likes it. I don't think my wife would wear it, but she does like it. She likes it on me, which is like hen's teeth. There's not many, I mean, I say this a fair bit, but there's not many fragrances I've got that my wife says, oh, you smell nice. And she really does enjoy this one. It is completely unisex. Anyone can wear this, and I think any age can wear this as well. It's probably a little bit more suited for the more mature fragrance enthusiast. I think the thrusters probably won't like it. A bit like jazz. Jazz seems to be a bit more for the more mature listener. I think the thrusters will be, listening to their techno or whatever they listen to these days. What's the performance like? Well, when you, as you've just seen, when you spray it, it explodes. It goes everywhere. So you've got to be quite light with the trigger. But this massive projection and really, really quite potent sillage, it does kind of follow you around everywhere. Lasts at that level for quite a short time. It really, really, really projects straight away, and then after that it kind of calms down and it sits above your skin for a very, very long time. If I put this on in the morning, by the time I'm ready to have my shower in the evening and go to bed, I can still smell it. It stays with you for hours. So it's a very long-lasting perfume. It's an extract as well, as you can see there. So you'd expect it to last, but like a lot of extracts, don't really project. This one does. This one really does kick out to start off with. As I say, it drops off quite quickly, but it's never a skin scent stage. It never feels like it's you're looking for it at all. Every time you move, you'll get a little whiff of it, and that's all the way through the perfume's life. So in terms of performance, you don't need to spray a lot to get what you want. I mean, do spray quite a lot, as I've mentioned, but this one I'm quite careful with it, because I think if you oversprayed it to start off with, you would become the perfume. You'd just be enveloped in this fog of it, and it's a beautiful fog, but you do have to be aware of people around you. So in terms of performance, it's absolutely excellent. You're going to have no complaints about that at all. It's not going to fade on your skin, and you're not going to lose it when you're wearing it. If you're out, as I said, if you want to wear this out in the evening, it'll be perfect for it, but just be a little bit calm with the sprayer. You don't want to go to a really nice restaurant or go to, a nice bar or something like that and just fog it out. It would be all a bit too much. So go light with the trigger, and you've got no worries on the performance side of it. It's a very, very long-lasting perfume. So it's just, I don't know, a very, very special fragrance. And as I say, anyone can wear this. It's a real treat. It is an incredibly niche smelling fragrance, though. There's nothing. I've not smelled anything like it. And it, I don't know. I don't really want to. I don't know how to put this, but if it's in the world of an Andy Tower fragrance, it's in the world of that kind of thing. It's a very artistic fragrance. It's just an absolute joy to wear. It's such an amazing fragrance, and I really, really strongly suggest that you try and get some samples of it. It's an expensive fragrance. It's $180 for a 50 ml. So it is, at that end of the scale. But in terms of what it does, I think it's worth every penny. I think it's a work of art. It really is up there in the masterpiece, sort of territory. So fantastic. If you can, go to the website, and there's a sample set. I haven't tried any of Sean's that I've disliked, put it that way. They're all really, really interesting, and they're really, really artistic perfumes. So I think he's doing an amazing job of that. And I hope he keeps it up, because honestly, fast becoming one of my favourite perfumers, well up there. Obviously I'm a big fan of Gaultieri, I'm a big fan of Guy, and Sean's work is certainly up there for me. I'm absolutely besotted with the stuff at the moment. So there you have it, a bit of a gushy one, I appreciate that, but if I like something, I want to get it across to you just how much I like it, and I bloody love this. So there you go. Well, listen, I hope this has been of interest to you. I hope you enjoyed the review. Obviously, as I said before, work is all over the shop at the moment, so I'm not getting as much time as I'd like to, and I've literally got about 1,000 reviews to try and get out, because we've had bought quite a lot of perfumes recently, so hopefully I'll try and get those filmed and get out to you, and that's about it really. So keep following us on Instagram, keep following us on here. If you're bored and you want to chat, hit me up. Probably Instagram's easier, because I spend more time on that than I do on YouTube, but if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we shall see you on the next video. So listen guys, stay safe, and cheers, and bye.